Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the weekly Wednesday Wargaming questions and answers. It's an off the cuff video, guys. What that means is I record and upload. There is no fancy editing skills. You won't see my intro symbol at the beginning. I do have a transition button so that if there's noise outside of my control, I can stop filming, wait for it to pass and carry on. These weekly Wednesdays, essentially, you guys ask me questions and I answer them. They are primarily model focused, of which is primarily Games Workshop, of which is primarily 40k, because it's hot, it's just so hot at the moment. There is terrain questions from time to time and some general information about myself and what's going on in the workshop. We have weekly vote, which I'll get into, and I was doing data cards reviews, and the last couple of weeks I've not had time to do them, so I'm going to make sure I get one done today. So let me start with some questions. Right, there's no battle report this week because Mark's on holiday for a couple of weeks, so there's no battle report, but the boys are coming over, should be next Wednesday. I'm going to film the game that we play. We play 1,000 points aside, 3 of us are on the table at the same time, and at the moment the boys are still learning the basics, so they're picking up really well, but we're just doing Overwatch, stratagem and command point reroll. You know, but what I might do is take a few pictures of the different detachments and enhancements and the stratagems for those detachments and send that on to them so they can actually then just do an army on the app and know exactly what they're, if they're given an enhancement, they know what it's doing. If they, you know, do different things, they can, that helps them learn more about the game as well then. So that's what I'm planning on doing, but hopefully that should be next Wednesday if everything goes to plan. I watched Let's Build on the Space Marine Land Raider, but I could not find its painting video. Where is it? That's because I haven't done it, unfortunately. Now, for those of you that don't know about this, I built the Chaos Space Marine Land Raider, okay, and then I left the bits on top, the turrets and everything on top, and then before I painted it, I did the paint video for it, but I actually, on camera there, I put together the last little bits to go onto it, and then painted it. The plan was the same to do with the Space Marine Land Raider, but with the Space Marine Land Raider, I wanted to airbrush it, because my Space Marine colours are really like, you know, Screaming Skull and Corn Red, so it's really a bit of a pain backside to keep doing Screaming Skull across, you know, a couple of coats building up the layout that I want. I've since discovered an easier way of doing that with Youth and Grey first, and then coming in with the Screaming Skull. But I wanted to do it with the airbrush, but then it got put down and just forgot. So now I need to, I do need to get it done. That's why there's no painting video for it. But there's too many other things to do at the moment. So bear with me, I do want to get done. I do want it off where it's sitting at the moment and sorted out and painted up. What is the best way to dry brush? Now there's a few different ways of doing dry brush. What I do is I get a piece of kitchen towel, okay, and just put it on my leg there, get a bit of paint on the brush, brush it off onto the kitchen towel, fold the kitchen towel so they don't get on your clothes, and then I look at the brush, give it a little brush on my hat finger. If there's too much on it, I give another little brush on tissue. If there's not, then I crack on. Some people will wet the brush, some people will have like a textured palette that they can just brush the paint onto, and it'll show them what the dry brush looks like. You know, but with the dry brushing, one, you know, rule that I think is all the same is less is more. The less you put on the brush, the more you get from dry brushing. Now, dry brushing is a very, very handy tool, especially on things with muscles or like cloaks and robes and stuff like that. Hair, for example, is another good one. What do you think about the new Chaos Knights and their launch box? I think the new Chaos Knights look amazing. I think it's only one model, but you can have different weapons and stuff. I think it looks amazing. The launch box I think is really cool. If you want to start Chaos Knights, that is the one to get for. To go and get the new launch box for that when it goes on pre-order. because you'll get the codex as well. It's simple enough that you're building one of the war dogs. I think you'll have the option to build them as war dogs or carnivores. I think carnivores are the ones with the close combat weapons. But once you built one, the rest of them are the same, pretty much. Weapon swap different, maybe. If you're starting Chaos Knights, I think that's a very good place to start. Now, I would have liked to have seen, I think is it 8 of the little war dog things in there. I would have liked to have seen maybe 6 of them in there, and then one of the big knights. Not the new one, but just, you know, another knight would have been very cool. But even with that said, getting that box and then just buying one of the big knights, you know, you've got a nice size army there straight away. Now, I'm still waiting for the Imperial Knights to come out, because Mark has the Chaos Knights. Even though I think they're cool models, if I want to have a game with the Chaos Knights versus one of his armies, I can do that. He's already said to me he can do that. And you know, that's one thing we did discuss. Like I said to him, I'd love to see you with a Necron Force just on the table. I'd love to see you with, like, you know, a demon horde on the table or something like that. You know, and hopefully we'll be doing that. The problem we have when we play our games is we have our games, great, fantastic, but Mark could have a tournament coming up, so he's always trying to prep for that tournament and try this army and swap this out and swap that out, and you know, so but I do want to have those type of games and have maybe a game of just vehicles, nothing, no characters, no infantry, just vehicles, you know. It's fantastic. But I've gone away from the question. I'm still waiting for the Imperial Knights. That's what I'm waiting for. But the Chaos Knights are very cool. The thing I like about the Chaos Knights as well, and Marco's done this on his army to an amazing degree, you can really customize the models. Really customize. Swap out legs for, you know, claws, and when I say claws, I mean like, well, claws, metallic claws, like as in like a Triarch Stalker legs, or just like Tyranid, you know, siphoning claws. And because it's chaos, it's a demon engine, it's half demon, half machine, you know. They're very cool. So what I'm going to do now, that's all the questions I have today. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring you down and we're going to have a look at a data card. Now, I'm not going to look at a data card, I'm going to take it straight from the codex. At the time of showing this, as far as I'm aware, it's all still the same, still correct. So I'm going to bring you down and show you codex. I forgot to say, there is a guy in there fixing the tractor, so you can hear the tractor going in the background, you can hear hammering and stuff, so just, I do apologise about that. I'm going to look at the World Eaters Forge Fiend. Okay, now this is different to the Chaos Space Marine ones, massive difference. Okay, so it's movement 10, toughness 10, it's 3+ save, 5+ invulnerable save, 12 wounds. The little skull there means it degrades after it takes a certain number of wounds, 6+ leadership, and it's OC 3. Now it comes with a Hades autocannon, okay, as standard. It's rapid fire 4. 36-inch range, so rapid fire 4. If you're within 18 inches, you're going to get an extra 4 shots. It'll be 10 shots then, but it starts with 6 shots normal, 4's to hit, strength 8, AP -1, 2 damage. Okay, which is very tasty. They can kill us. That's wounding a Space Marine on 2s, and each one unsaved one kills a Space Marine. Now I swapped mine out for the ectoplasmic cannons because you can have 3 of those. They have blast, rapid fire 1, 36-inch range, each one fires D3. So you're shooting at a unit of 5 Space Marines. If you're within 18 inches, you're getting 3D3 plus 3 with blast. So this is, say for example, it's a unit of 5 Space Marines. So you're getting 3D3 plus 2. Sorry, 3D3 plus 6. So even if you roll ones, you're still getting 9 shots off. It's nice. 4's to hit, strength 10, so your wounded Space Marines on 2. A Space Marine before any cover save or armor contempt or anything like that will be on a 6+ save. And it's 3 damage. Each one that gets through kills a Space Marine. He has Forge Fiend claws and Forge Fiend jaws. If you swap to the Exoplasmic Cannon, you'll have claws. Okay. The claws are 6 attacks, 3s to hit, strength 6, AP 0 and 1 damage. The jaws are 8 attacks, 3s to hit, strength 7. So unfortunately you'll still be wounding a Space Marine on 3 with that one. AP -1 and 2 damage apiece. So every one that's not saved is going to kill a Space Marine. It's deadly demise D3, which means when it gets killed, you roll a D6. If you roll a 6, it explodes, and anything within 6 inches of that takes D3 mortal wounds. Has the Blessings of Khorne, so it can have all the benefits from the Blessings of Khorne. Furious Onslaught. Each time this model makes a ranged attack that targets the closest eligible target within 18 inches, you can reroll the hit roll. That's massive. Now, eligible target is a very key word to be put in there, because if your enemy puts a unit at the other side of ruins and you can't target them, but the closest enemy unit you can target is within 18, you'll get that reroll, which is nice. When this model has 1 to 4 runes remaining, each time this model makes an attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. That's when it degrades. And it is a vehicle, a walker, Chaos, Khorne, Demon, and Forge Fiend. Now, which is weird because it's a vehicle walker. So when you're shooting at it, and when it's shooting, you have to measure base to base, which is actually quite tasty. So if it's sitting there and half it's and the gun barrels are sticking over sticking out from behind a ruin, and your opponent's trying to shoot it, and all you can see is the gun barrels, you can't target it unless it sees the base. That's what it is. I have 2 Forge Fiends. I think they're going to both be in my World Eaters list next time, but we'll see. Right, so now I'm going to bring down and show you the vote. Now, what is the vote for when it's new? I show you a host of models, and you guys comment below in this video what you want me to paint for next Monday's painting video. You can vote for as much as you like, but don't say I vote for everything because it won't count. But you can say I vote for any Necron or any Space Marine or any Eldari or any Tyranid or any, and that will count. Now, there's one other little thing that I'm going to say here. Normally, let's just say, for example, Monday just gone, the Barbacont's one, because it was Creator's Choice, so I picked those. Normally there wouldn't be any Tyranids in the vote this week, but what I was thinking was, anything that I build as a new list build, I think it should have 3 weeks pass in the vote. And I think that's the way to do it, because otherwise it'd be in the vote 1 week, and if someone votes for it or 2 people vote for it and then someone else comes in for something else, and that just wins by 1, then that's out of the vote. And I thought I guarantee there's 2 new models that I've built that are going to be absolutely difficult to choose from to paint. Absolutely amazing. I've left the Wraith Knight in this week as well, but anyway, that's why I was thinking about that. If I'm right, chuck a comment below, let me know what you think. I just think it's better that way. It gives a newer model that's just been built a chance to get voted on, or doesn't get voted on, but then it also keeps other models that are in and out of the vote every week in, week out, keeps them out for a couple of weeks, so when they do come in, it's not fresh, but it's, I haven't seen them for a while, let me vote for that. That's my thinking anyway. Yes, I'll show you host models. You guys comment below what you want me to paint for next Monday's paint video. I look at the voting at 12 o'clock midday on Saturday, and whoever has the most votes, then starts getting prepped up if it needs prepped up, and just start working away on the Sunday, ready for the Monday. You can also vote for the wild card. The wild card is you find out if it wins, or you can vote for Creator's Choice. Now, if nobody votes, or you vote for Creator's Choice, then I pick what it is. Now, last week there was no votes cast. One of my viewers, no one messaged me and said I did vote, but I don't think I sent it, or it didn't go through, or something like that, which happens sometimes. But still, Barbacont's all done. Nice choice, nice easy unit, and hopefully a few of you will see that and go, actually, that's very simple to do, and follow the same way, but not use the same colours. Do use your own colours if you want, but just see that you can wet blend contrast paint. You can give it a dry brush afterwards and really make it pop off. And especially with things like Tyranids, because it's all organic, when you're putting the contrast paint on instead of waiting for it to dry. Whacking the next contrast paint on, and if they mix together, it gives you more of a natural skin look and more of a, you know, sort of real life. Because if you look at your own skin, it's not going to be the same color all the way through your body. It's going to have different shades of that same color. But anyway, I'm bring down shade right now, guys. Right, so we've got the Scourges for Drukhari. We have the Locust Destroy Lord. We have the Seraphins for the Sisters. We have the Sister Squad. We have the Retributor Squad for the Sisters. That's the half-naked sisters with the big chain swords. We have Crossbones for Marvel Crisis Protocol. We have Omega Red for Marvel Crisis Protocol. We have the Sisters of Silence for the Custodes. We have the alternative sculpt of the Scorpic Destroyers. I have a unit of 20 Chaos Warriors and Michael Nurgle. These are very old metal models. They are not all the same like this. There are a few different ones. I have the Wizards. Now, if these won the vote, if I was thinking about it the other day, there's no way I could paint all of those in one go and do them justice. So I'd probably take 2 or 3 of them out and paint them up if they won. And then take the rest of them out and start painting them up as the weeks go on. I have the Wraith Lord. I have Spider-Man. I've left him in there for Marvel Crisis Protocol. I have the Infernus Sergeant, which is a special edition that came with the Combat Patrol magazine. I'm going to put him on a bigger base and have him as a lieutenant with a combat weapon. That's a lieutenant that can infiltrate and has a feel no pain, all that sort of stuff. With the Parasite and Mortrex, this is the second week that it's in the vote. So after next week, if it doesn't win this week or next week, the week after it'll be taken out. And I have Chief Librarian Tigerius or Tiberius, whatever you want to call it, whatever his name is to pronounce. This is his first week in the vote. These are 2 models that I built over the last week or so. So there we have it. So there we are, guys. Some nice choices there. I wouldn't know what to pick. If I was voting, I wouldn't know what to pick. Let's be honest with you. If you have any questions for me, chuck a comment below as always. There are no silly questions. So don't think, oh, I can't ask this, because everyone starts off new. You know, you could even be in the hobby a year or two and have a question you think that's really silly, really silly. You know, it's not. Okay? If you don't answer that question below because you think people are going to take the piss and start, you know, trolling you online, they don't do that. It doesn't happen here. But you can go to Unique Wargaming Terrain Facebook page. There is a messenger button there. You click on that and message me directly, as many of you do. Yeah. So if you're new to the channel, guys, hit the subscribe button because it costs you nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube to share this video on more people, which makes an amazing community of you guys grow even more. If you want to support the channel even further, there is a join button below. You can click on that and become a member to the channel. Memberships have different perks depending on what tier you go for. Yeah. The next time I do a Let's Build video or a painting video, I'm probably going to be wearing a glove, because it's that time of year where I'm dealing with gardening stuff and turf. Turf is like a peat moss briquette that goes in the fire at winter time. But what it does to my hand is it breaks down my skin really bad. And it sort of stains the skin that's left. It's like the crusty bit of skin. It stains that. No matter how much washing, how much, you know, nail brushing is giving it a scrub, it doesn't come off. The only way it comes off is after a few days of not doing that. So before someone goes, why are you wearing a rubber glove on one hand? You know, I know you guys don't really care, but for me, there was a comment made a few months ago about a video I did like this time last year, and it was the same thing. And it's like, okay, like, I feel conscious about it now, so I'm going to be wearing a glove just to make it so I can work away. So don't, you know, you see this silly question, why's he got a glove on the hand? That would be why. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to vote. Hit the buttons for me. Until next time, take it easy.